Alright, that might just be the dagger. The Vancouver Canucks today fall to the Winnipeg Jets 3-1. And you know what? I have to be a realist here. Winning this game would have been a miracle. They had to win this game if they wanted to keep their playoff hopes alive, given the fact they lost to the Blue Jackets the other day. But the fact that going into it, you're up against the top team in the league with like 5 AHL players in your lineup, it wasn't looking all too promising, and I guess give them a little bit of credit. They hung with the Jets for the first 2 periods, but when you're only scoring 1 goal in the game, you're just not going to win it. And of course, no surprise, but the Canucks have given up another lead today. That's 6 for 6 on this road trip, and I don't know what it is or why this is the way they play, but it seems like they always do just enough to keep the game tight, even in games where you think they have it, like the Blue Jackets game the other day. They had a 3-0 lead, a 5-3 lead, and still the game wasn't out of reach. It was a track meet, 7-6 game, and then today they play a 3-1 hockey game, well 2-1 for most of it, tight checking against a much better opponent, and somehow allow less than half the goals. It's just the same shit, man, playing up to higher opponents and playing down to weaker opponents just to make every game a toss-up. And that's ultimately why they're not going to make the playoffs this year. Say what you want about injuries, that's definitely been a hassle to deal with as well, but even then, with how weak the other teams are in the wildcard race, they still had an opening. But when you blow games against Buffalo and Seattle, Anaheim, teams like that, you force yourself to be in a position where you have to win games against top teams like the Jets. And normally you give yourself that cushion by taking care of the teams that you're supposed to beat. And that's why it's just so frustrating, because if the Canucks won 3 or 4 more games against bottom feeder teams, and games where they've had multi-goal leads that they just haven't protected, they would be in a much more comfortable position. So could this team be in a playoff spot right now? Yes. Do they deserve it? Absolutely not. The Blues want it a hell of a lot more right now. They've won 9 straight. At the moment, they deserve the spot. So, I don't know what to tell you. The Canucks, they played alright. Goal from Pius Suter, but then Kyle Connor had one quick, and then Mason Appleton and Cole Perfetti added to the lead for the Winnipeg Jets. So in summary, to reiterate my point from earlier, I'm not mad at the way they played today, given the fact they have 5 or so AHL guys, a ton of regulars are out, and the injuries have just mounted on. But you wouldn't be in the position where this is a must-win game if you just took care of some of the easier games. So we'll see what happens. There's 8 or so games left in the season. Highly unlikely they make the playoffs unless they win out. But if there is anything with this team, I guess you never really know what's going to happen next. So I guess we'll have to wait to see it all unfold. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Become a channel member with the join button. Peace out, and take care.